Shirley Winter Show, live, local, topical, and relevant. On the phone with us, when you hear that music, you know it's Wednesday. It means it's 8:06 in Carrollton, Bordeaux. Former Gwinnett County Congresswoman joins us every Wednesday. And, boy, guys, if you're real hardcore on the right, get ready to be mad, because she's going to gloat. But before that, Carolyn, hold on 1 second, if you don't mind, my sister. They have food in the kitchen that has been there since this morning from Kosher Gourmet. And they have some, I mean, it is the softest pastrami I've ever had in my life. Shout out to them. I've been picking on it all day. And it's been there since this morning. I think it came this morning. And it is so good. I'm sorry, Carolyn. I just had to say that. That's why it took me so long to come on, because I just taken a bunch of pastrami. Oh, my God. It's the softest pastrami. You know, pastrami's hard to have.
That's good stuff.
That's
good stuff.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, my sister. I'm going to just turn it over to you. I talked to Charlie Bailey earlier. We talked about special election district 121. I just had in studio my good friend and brother Josh McCoon, chairman of the Georgia GOP, talking about the same race. I want to talk to you about Miami.
Miami. All right. Yes. So that was a big race, and I'm not gloating. I would rather we address the issues than win, per se, right? I want people to be taken care of. And I think the reason Democrats are doing well is that there's some real economic problems that people are facing. There's some real healthcare problems. There's some real problems of rising prices. And I can go on. There are other things, too. It's certainly Miami, right? This is a deal where the Republicans, Trump, had really pulled a lot of Hispanic voters into the Republican coalition. And he is hemorrhaging them. And, you know, one of the things you're seeing, one of the reasons is you have these masked ICE agents out, you know, tackling people who look Hispanic. Something like 20% of our population looks Hispanic, right? And they're American citizens. And so you have a lot of, and the Supreme Court basically ruled, okay, racial profiling is fine, but there's a real cost when you do that because it really pisses people off. And you're down there in Miami that is very heavy Hispanic. It's Cuban. There's a big Venezuelan community down there. There are a lot of people down there who don't appreciate the way that this is unfolding. So, so that was a big deal. This is Eileen Higgins. This was a city that Kamala barely won. It's been 30 years since a Democrat has won the mayorship there. And she won by, dear Lord, 20 points. Yeah. 20 points.
She blew him out. And the guy she beat was a Hispanic and was also a county commissioner.
Emilio Gonzalez. Yes.
Right. Yeah. And so my thing is, and to your point about this, and I've been screaming about this since the summertime, and I started with the first video that appeared with a Arab young girl in college. She's walking, and you see the video, and she's walking across campus, and she's basically rolled up on by masked ICE agents, no badges, no nothing. They take her purse, and then they walk her away. And I said, wait a minute.
Into an unmarked van.
Right.
Into an unmarked van. I mean, that's scary stuff.
Exactly. And I said, that is not going to play well. You can spin it every kind of way you want, and you can say what you want. And then we kept seeing more and more stories. I kept warning people, and now we're here. And now all my conservative pundit friends are starting to talk the same way I said I was talking back in the summertime. I'm not gloating about that. I'm just telling you the hardcore, cold facts. But that's exactly what happened. I want to say this. Maria Salazar said it. I've been saying it. Hispanic voters are not Republican voters. Hispanic voters in 2024 were Trump voters. They were not Republican voters. So to think that you're going to keep them because they voted for Trump is really a lesson that we're going to have to learn the hard way.
Right. Well, they are economic voters. They are family values voters. They're cost of living voters, right? And Republicans do have a chance to appeal to them, right? There is a real opportunity there, but it's not going to do it if there's sort of this sense there's a police state that is targeting them and coming after them,
right?
In ways that are very unjust, right? If you talk to Hispanic voters, they'll say people should come here legally, right? I came here legally, I did it the right way, and all of that. But when they see like their kids, a high school kid, something like that, standing on the street corner, and this has happened, ICE agents masked, jump out, tackle the kid. Where are you born? Where are you born? Scare the crap out of them. And, finally they back off. But that kind of activity, that kind of behavior, right, that has a ripple effect and repercussions throughout the entire community.
Absolutely.
And
not only that, for many of them, they left those kind of countries. That's why
exactly.
they came here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they know what they're seeing.
Right.
Yeah.
They know what they're seeing.
It's very frightening.
Absolutely.
It's very frightening.
Now let's skip here in Georgia, Carolyn. Let's talk about special election District 121. I want to quote Josh McCoon said something. He said it's a special election, 10,000 votes, and that Republicans will win back the seat in November. I don't doubt that. It's just the L right now that bothers me. Talk to us about that special election in the first 121st district.
Yeah. So I looked at some of the numbers there, and the Eric Gisler came in at 39% previously, and then he got 51% in this race. So it is a baseline Republican district, but just to point out that when I ran in the 7th congressional district, that was one where the previous Democrat had only gotten around 40% of the vote, and eventually, it took me a few races, but I flipped that seat, and so I don't think they should take it for granted that Republicans are going to take that seat back in November of next year. Things are moving heavily against them, and if they don't solve some of these problems. And they should solve it. It's about people. It's not about politics. They should absolutely solve this. This healthcare issue, these insurance premium tax credits. I mean, I don't think people realize how devastating that is for some people. And I tell this story many times, but the woman who does my hair, before those tax credits went into effect, she was paying $1,500 a month. Okay, she's a hairdresser.
Right.
She doesn't make a lot of money. Okay,
right.
$1,500 a month. The premium tax credits cut that down to $500 a month. Okay, so what's that? $6,000 a year. If it goes back up to $1,500, what is that? It's $18,000 a year.
Right.
Right. That's a tripling. Even if she makes $120,000, she's working her butt off, standing on, and cutting hair as fast as she can. She can't afford that.
Right.
Right. And that's what's happening to people. And I wish they would just get this under control. They can do it. But Republicans need to step up and get this fixed. At least extend it for a year, come up with some other ideas, do something like that. I mean, real people's lives are at stake with this.
Problem is, here's what the problem is. I agree. First of all, I agree with you. The problem is, first of all, you're going to have people like me that are continue to ask the Republican Party. I've been hearing replace and repeal since 2016, and there's been nothing to replace and repeal. Nothing. We've been talking about health care since since not 2016, since Obamacare was passed. They said they voted 20 times. The first thing I'll never forget, when Trump came into office in 2017, right after he got inaugurated, that first time he sat down at the Oval in the Oval Office, he said, "Hey, Republican House, send me that health care bill you've been talking about." And we still haven't seen it. No, I'm serious. We still haven't seen it. And so when you talk about passing the subsidies, they're going to get slammed for doing that from the far right, the hardcore base. But the hardcore base is not yelling at everybody for not even having a plan to begin with.
Yeah. Well, Republicans, it's like political malpractice. It pains me to watch this happen because so many people are going to be hurt by this, right? So many people are going to have to drop their insurance coverage because they can't afford it. And
many of them are going to be Republicans because many of them tend to be small business owners.
That's right. It is the self-employed kind of people it's older, a little bit older, right? Because health insurance is more expensive if you're, 55 and older.
Exactly.
Those are the people who are going to get clobbered, hard-working people. And anyway, so I just think at this point, what they did, a few years ago is water under the bridge now. I think what they need to do right now is buy themselves some time and then come up with another plan.
Yeah, we'll see.
And they can do that. Yeah.
We'll see. Carolyn Bordeaux, my sister. You didn't gloat. Right. I thought you were going to gloat some more. I was hoping that you'd gloat a little bit more. But it's okay. That's why I love you. You don't gloat. I would have gloat. I would have gloated. I would have. I would have shouted from the rooftops. I told you so.
I wish people would address the problem. And I'm in Washington these days a lot, and meet with Republicans. I'm talking about trying to get the budget balanced right. I really want to make some progress there, but I'm like, please, I want you to pay for this. I want you to pay for it, right? I want you to pay for it. But can you not find a way to fix this?
Right.
And it's just they just cannot seem to pull it together. So anyway, yeah.
My sister,
all right, well,
Callan Bordeaux.
Good to be on.
Good talking to you. You have a wonderful weekend.
You too. Take care. Thank you.
When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about now we're seizing tankers. Let's talk about that.